My personal favorite film series of all time is the Rocky films. There's no movies that I love more than the Rocky movies, and those movies in many ways have shaped my life. I've been watching them since I was a young kid. In this video, I want to share 5 huge lessons I learned from watching the Rocky movies. There are plenty others, but I want to focus on the big 5, and I want to share those in this video. Stick around. Outside of the lessons that I've learned from the Rocky movies, there's a sentiment there. That film series goes all the way back to me being a small child, and I watched these movies over and over again. You know, I even like Rocky 5. I look at Rocky 1 through Rocky Balboa as one continuous film. I even blend the Creed series into that. Creed Part 1 and 2 is such a huge part of the Rocky saga. But the Rocky movies legit embedded in me a lot of truths that I have carried throughout my life, and I learned these things from a young age, and they have really impacted my years. The first big lesson I learned from the Rocky movies, especially the earlier ones, is that Underdog is just a title if you're willing to put in the work. One of the things people love so much about the Rocky movies is that it is an underdog story, but Rocky's character was an underdog who was willing to take chances and put in the work, and his character became champion. This is very true in life. So many people in life that are considered underdogs were willing to make the sacrifices necessary to succeed, and they were willing to put in the work, and they went on to prove to everyone otherwise. Some may even kick in and say, well, Rocky was a nobody who was actually given a shot. Well, the shot that he was given wouldn't have made any difference in the world if he wasn't willing to work for the shot he had been given. If he wasn't willing to do anything with that opportunity, if he wasn't willing to suffer through what he had to suffer through to make that opportunity matter, it wouldn't have made a difference. The second life-changing lesson that you can learn from a Rocky movie is the importance of staying hungry in whatever it is you do. Rocky's character was a hungry savage in the first 2 films. Well, he gained success and popularity, and then he became, as Mickey said, civilized. And becoming more civilized made him soft. We see this happen to a lot of fighters. We see this happen to a lot of people out here who are up and coming. A lot of people reach a level of success and they don't stay hungry. It's a huge challenge. It's probably hard to stay hungry when your life gets extremely easy. But somehow or another, if we want to continue being good at what we do, we've got to find what it takes to stay hungry. We can't lose the hunger. The third life lesson, and the one that probably impacted me the most, was resilience. Resilience is the ability to take it and come back. This is probably the greatest theme stretching through the entire Rocky series. Going that one more round when you don't think you can is what makes all the difference in your life. We saw this not only being true in Rocky's character, but we see this in real life, in every area of life. The film Rocky Balboa, which was part 6, includes probably one of the most popular movie motivational speeches ever given by a character. It impacted my life so much I practically have it memorized. He says, "Son, I'll tell you something you already know. The world is not all sunshine and rainbows. It's a mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody will hit as hard as life, but in life, it's not how hard you hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. So if you know what you're worth, go out and get what you're worth, but you got to be willing to take the hits, and you can't be pointing fingers saying, I'm not where I want to be because of him, her, or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that." So as you can tell, that speech really touched my heart. The next big lesson that the Rocky movie teaches us, and that Rocky's character teaches us, is that family is more important than the glory of the victories we get from things we're going after in life. Several times throughout the film, you know, there was this battle between the focus that needed to be on the family and the focus that Rocky was given to the task of boxing and the goals that he had. But it would always come down to the fact that family mattered more. Family matters more than the things that we want to go after in this life. Goals are important, but when we're all old people, if we live to be old and we're laying on a hospital bed, what's going to matter to us more than the trophies, the goals, the championships, the victories, is those precious people standing around that bed. The last lesson is a little bit deeper, and it comes from Rocky Balboa, and that is, it is okay to have a little unfinished business before you will mentally allow yourself to put something to bed. Rocky's character was dealing with extreme grief over the loss of his wife. And that grief brought about what he referred to as a beast inside. Well, that beast inside ultimately was unfinished business. And it took having one more exhibition bout to get that out of his system. There's times in life when we have unfinished business. Don't let anybody talk you out of that. So many people were trying to talk about how he didn't need to be fighting anymore, but he knew deep down inside that he had one more fight. He had one more. And there's going to be times in life where we've got unfinished business to tend to, and you have to make that decision, not everybody else. Rocky said, I quit thinking like everybody else a long time ago. You got to think like you think. Gotta love the Rocky movies. And those are the 5 biggest lessons that I have learned. Those are the things that speak to me the most. There's a lot we could pull from the series. Feel free to drop lessons that you've learned from Rocky in the comments section. Do you love the Rocky films? Which one do you like the best in the series? I can't pick one. I like all of them. They're all one big movie to me. But I'd love to hear your Rocky story. Thanks for watching. Take care.